What's up? It's Andy. I'm going to be taking a look at Thursday's No House Advantage Pick'em contest. We got the Tennessee Titans taking on the Green Bay Packers, both of them orchestrating comeback wins during Week 10. Finally have a decent Thursday night game. I'm not getting greedy after what they've given us these last couple of weeks, last couple of months, really. So I'm going to be taking a look at some of these players. If you haven't played in one of these contests before, No House Advantage, it's player props, fantasy, rolled into one cool, easy to use, unique platform. In this contest that we're doing, the Pick'em contest, you take player props. It shows you a player like Ryan Tannehill. You can choose the passing yards, the touchdowns, whatever one you like the most. The more player props that you get correct, the higher you ascend in the standings and the more cash that you get to line your pockets with. They also have a Verse the House contest, which we'll take a look at tomorrow. And in those type of contests, you get 5 right and you're going to win 20 times your money on No House Advantage. So great couple of contests. You should definitely check them out. And for a limited time, don't know how long this is going to last, but if you go over to No House Advantage using the link in the description of this video, they're going to match your first deposit up to $50. So you throw 50 down on there, you get another 50, and you take a couple swipes at this Pick'em contest. I think first place is 10,000, so why don't we go get a quick 10K? And we'll start by looking at the quarterbacks in this game. We got Rodgers and Tannehill. I'm going to start with Tannehill. I'm going to take the under 1.5 touchdowns. When you think how this game most likely is going to play out, because you never really know after looking at Monday Night Football. These games could go any which way, but you have two teams who run the majority of the time. To me, that means a lot of clock is coming off, and these are two teams that never really pull away from anybody. When you see Tannehill having to come back, then yeah, maybe there's a chance for more touchdowns thrown. So I'm going to take the under 1.5 touchdown passes for Ryan Tannehill. And on the other side of the ball, Aaron Rodgers, this burned me a couple of weeks back because you know this guy can go seasons, full seasons, throwing like 2 to 3 interceptions. But when you're talking about Aaron Rodgers playing at home in a primetime game, I cannot bet against him throwing an interception, especially when you look at the fact that they run the ball so much now. In a game where they're even remotely close, they're going to continue to run the ball, which means more time off that clock, less throws, and less throws equals less chance of an interception. So I'm going to take the under half of an interception, aka no interception for Aaron Rodgers. And looking at some of the skill position players in this game, I'm going to start with Robert Woods. I know that I criticized like 2 seconds ago the skill position players, outside of Derrick Henry, on the Tennessee Titans, 2.5 catches for their number one receiver. When he was playing with Tannehill earlier, you can expect at least 3 to 4. It's not like they have this thing at 5.5. Their number one receiver in a game where he's probably going to be needed in some capacity. I'm going to imagine, even if Jair Alexander's on him, I'm going to take Robert Woods to come up with 3 freaking catches. Give me the over on 2.5 receptions for Robert Woods. And then on the Green Bay side, I'm going to take the under 4.5 receptions for Allen Lazard. I understand he's got a great rapport with Rodgers, also a great run blocker, but a couple of factors here. 1, they're running the ball a ton. 2, you had that semi-emergence of Watson last week. And 3, he hasn't had over 4 catches in like 3 or 4 weeks. And I believe that this is a pretty good time to bet against him in a game that really should be relatively close. You got Tennessee, who runs the ball a lot, Green Bay, who runs the ball a lot. I don't imagine Rodgers winging it all over the field in this one. He's been hesitant to wing it all over the field, even in games where they're down double digits. So I'm going to take the under 4.5 receptions for Allen Lazard. And then lastly, I'm going to take the under on Derrick Henry's rushing total. It's pretty high. We know that he can get that rushing total. This is Derrick Henry. He's had many primetime great games, including the last time we saw Tennessee in primetime a couple weeks back with the backup quarterback. However, I'm thinking that on a short week, Lambeau at home, they'll be able to at least limit it because, as you see, this is a very high total. Henry seemed to struggle a little bit last week, so maybe he continues that into this. Who knows? The guy's a freak. Maybe he's nursing something we don't know about. But I'm going to take the under on Derrick Henry. And if these are, any of these selections you are not particularly a fan of, always feel free to go over to Stokastic, where they offer free projections for this particular contest. You can see their optimal lineups, and they'll give you all sorts of different combinations that you can use to try to come up with some good lineups for this and guarantee yourself some cash. All right, I'll be back with you tomorrow to talk versus the house, where we'll try to get 5 of these things correct and make up to 20 times our money. All right, I will talk to you then. Take it easy.